Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this video lecture series of Basic Electronics, module number 3, Introduction to Op-Amp. So today we are going with the another module of Basic Electronics subject, that is in Operational Amplifier. In short, we call it as Op-Amp. And it is one of the very important device, or you can say one of the important uh, circuit diagram, or you can say it basically it comes with an IC. Okay. So let us start with this op-amp topic here with introduction part. Basically, op-amp is a multi-stage amplifier which uses a number of amplifier stages in connected to each other. We call it as an operational amplifier. Now, first let me tell you here, or if you divide these two words into two parts, one is operational and another you call it as an amplifier. So basic operation of your amplifier, basic operation of your amplifier is nothing but it's a device, or amplifier is a device which amplifies the signal. What do you mean by the term amplification over here is, for example, if I say if this is my signal which is varying with respect to time t, and if I want to amplify this signal is nothing but I will just try to increase the strength of the signal like this. For example, if it is 2 volt and amplitude, so it may become 5 volt in amplitude once I do it amplification. So therefore I can do a lot of applications oriented devices, or design the application oriented devices by making use of this operational amplifier. So but here what do you mean by the term operational is nothing but it is as equal as our mathematics. So operational or different operators what we use in the mathematics, like we call it as addition. So here instead of addition we call it as summation. So by making use of your amplifier or operational amplifier, we may go for different type of devices or different type of applications. Like I can go for designing of our summing amplifier, or simply call it as summation or summer. Then we can also go for designing of the subtractor. So minus sign belongs to subtract. So we can go for the subtraction, we can go for differentiation, we go for integration, etc. Right. So the word term, the operational represents here is nothing but we can go for multiple operations by making use of this operational amplifier. So basically it is a multi-stage. The meaning of multi-stage here is more than one stage of amplifier is used in the design of amplifier. More than one stage of amplifier is nothing but if I make use of one amplifier, what will be the output result? If I make use of the multi stages, one stage, two stage, three stages, what will be the output? Is there any change in the output results, or is there any change in the performance of the electronic device if I make use of multi-stage? So soon we will try to see and try to justify what things are going to happen if we make use of the multi-stage amplifier. So basically it's a multi-stage amplifier which are connected with each other. Then integrated op-amps offers all the advantages of monolithic integrated IC. The term IC is represented, meaning of IC is nothing but integrated. You can call it as chip, or simply you can call it as integrated circuits. So it comes with the mono advantage. It is more advantageous than the monolithic ICs, okay, because of its small in size. Because if you see an IC, sometimes the ICs are not at all visible also. If you just look at your mobile phone backside, small ICs are been deployed over there on the PCB board. So they come in the small size. That is why they are less costly. The cost of the device will be reduced if the size of the device is small. So small in size is nothing but the cost is reduced. Low power consumption. Whenever you go for design of any device, the device should not consume more power. If the device is consuming more power, then your product will not be accepted in the market. You take any application, you take any, either in the terms of the software also, if you belong to a computer science department, then if your algorithm, if your program is not working properly, then that program will be not accepted in the market. Similarly, like other different branches when we go for designing of any application oriented material. When if that device is consuming more power, then that device will not be accepted. So you need to keep in mind always when you go for the design of a circuit, that the circuit diagram or the circuit should not consume more power. But our operational amplifier is designed in such a way that the power consumption here is very low and they are highly reliable. The term high reliability means if when you go for making use of the operational amplifier, this amplifier will be working very efficiently over a long duration of time. So that is why we call it as the high reliable type of applications is been done, is been obtained or is been given by making use of this operational amplifier. Apart from this high reliability, the basic need or the basic operation, right? No need of any extra circuitry, no need of any other addition of multi-electronic devices or electronic components to the operational amplifier. The basic operational of amplifier is just to find the differences between the two voltages, or you can say the difference between the two signals. Here you can see it's the basic operation, right? I'm telling basic. You need not have to go for any addition of extra circuitry, any addition of resistance and capacitor to the circuit diagram. But the basic the thing of operational amplifier is it acts as a differences or it gives the difference between the two signals. That is why the operational amplifier can be basically or fundamentally, or you can say at a base level, or the base model of the operational amplifier can be used as comparator. It is just used to compare the two differences of voltages, comparison of two voltages or comparison of two currents, two voltages, two voltage, two level, two signals, two amplitudes, okay, two input signals. So without any additionally, we just go for the comparison of two different signals. Then how basically op amp will look, what are the terminals of op amp? When you look at this particular two diagrams or the two figures over here, the figure number 1 represents the symbolic representation of op amp, and in figure number 2 it is represented in terms of an IC, okay, in terms of IC. So if you just look at over here the op amp terminals, basically op amp is an 8 terminal device. First let us go with the figure number 2 so that it will be more clear when you go for figure number 1. So if you look at figure number 2 here, in figure number 2 you can see the 8 pins, you can see here, right, which have been denoted as pin number 1. It is an 8-pin IC. Pin number 1 we call it as null offset. A null offset is not used when we go for connection of our device. Pin number 2 is an input voltage or input terminal of the op amp, and this input terminal op amp we call it as an inverting input. Pin number 3 is also an input terminal of the op amp, but the pin number 3 we call it as a non-inverting input terminal of the op amp. And pin number 4 is connected to minus VEE, or you can say that the negative voltage of the power supply. Pin number 8 is not connected, so we will not use pin number 8 and pin number 1 and pin number 5 also. Pin number 7 is connected to the positive of the voltage, and pin number 6 is nothing but your output terminal of op amp. So if the question is asked with respect you to define the operational amplifier and draw the pin configuration of amplifier and list the input terminals and output terminals of op amp, then you please just denote it like this. Okay, so this is in terms of IC package. But when you come to the symbolic representation of the op amp, basically the op amp will look like a triangular shape. Okay, you can just see in figure number 1 how it is drawn is it is like this. It's come with the triangular shape. Now the things which I have circled here will be only drawn with respect to the symbol. So pin number 2, it's a two input terminal device. You can see there are two inputs, so that is why I have drawn the two lines. It is a two input terminal, and there are two voltage supply which are given here. One is the positive voltage and another is the negative voltage, and one is nothing but your output. So if I call this as the pin number 2 and pin number 3, pin number 6, pin number 7, and pin number 4. Pin number 4. Here again, pin number 2 is represented with minus and pin number 4 is represented with plus. Now, one thing I want to tell is pin number 2 is it is an inverting input terminal of the op amp. The meaning of the inverter input terminal of the op amp is always represented or always denoted by the symbol minus. So whenever the minus comes with the terminal, it means that it is an inverting input terminal. And when it is with respect to plus, or if I say what is the pin number 3 of op amp, you should say it as the non-inverting input terminal of op amp, and pin number 2 is inverting input terminal of the op amp, right? So once we go for the further more detail of what will be the output of the op amp when it is given to pin number 2, and what will be the output of op amp when we give it to the pin number 3, right? So just the symbolic representation of op amp will look like this. It's a triangular shape, two input terminal device. It has two inputs and one output. There is another more interesting here in the operational amplifier is pin number 7. So pin number 7, we give it as minus VCC, or in terms of voltage, if I write it as plus 5 volt supply. When it comes to pin number 4, it is represented by minus VEE, or you can say minus VCC. And here the voltage will be of minus 5 volt. But we don't have a device which will generate the negative voltage. We don't have an electronic device which generates the negative voltage by its own. We need to develop a device, or we need to change the operation of the device, power supply device or regulated power supply, in such a way that it should give us the negative supply. So we call it as RPS, basically the name of the power supply, that is regulated power supply, and this power supply will be your DC supply, not AC supply. Okay, it's a DC supply, not AC supply. How we do that? How we try to convert our positive voltage to negative voltage? But our device requires both the positive voltage as well as the negative voltages, right? So we will do it later, but now for here, for the explanation point of view, so op amp has the two input terminals, and these two input terminals are your inverting input terminal and the non-inverting input terminal, and represented, the minus sign represents your inverting and the positive represents the non-inverting terminal. And if we try to make use of this symbol at minus, or if I say that if I'm giving the input to minus, then your output will be 100 degree out of phase, right? Your output will be 180 degree out of phase with respect to input. What do you mean by 180 degree out of phase? For example, if I have an op amp over here like this, let me say that minus is given here and plus is given here, right? So if I assume that this is my output symbol or output, and this is my plus VCC and this is my minus VCC. If I give the negative of my negative terminal it to ground, or simply you can say it as the 0 volt. Now what is this minus represent? This minus represents 2, right? Minus represents 2. What do you mean by 180 degree phase is, if I give the signal to the pin number 2 like this, this is a sine wave, right? This is a sine wave which has an voltage level of V. So once this signal is applied to an operational amplifier when it is connected to pin number 2 of that IC, then the output voltage what I get when it passes through the op-amp is like this. Now what is the difference? It is completely reversed. It is completely changed. That is why we speak in technically that it is 180-degree out of phase. So you can see the signal representation here. So if you give input like this, you will get output like this. So that is why we call it as an inverting terminal, which gives us the 180-degree out of phase. But similarly, if you give an input signal like this, then the output of the amplifier will be like this. So this is 180-degree out of phase for this applied signal, and this is 180-degree out of phase for this applied signal. So this is how the input terminal of an operational amplifier, when it works with respect to inverting input terminal of op-amp. When it comes to the non-inverting terminal, what happens is it is completely the same. Whatever we apply at input, it will be same at the output. For example, if I apply like this to the input terminal of op-amp, but make sure that for your operational amplifier, it should be connected to plus, not minus, and minus should be grounded. This is your supply and this is your output answer. So what is here? You can say there is same. So what we say now here, we say it as 0-degree phase, 0-degree phase shift. So it is 180-degree phase shift if it is inverting terminal. It is 0-degree phase shift if it is non-inverting input terminal. So based on this basic concepts and its methodology of operation with respect to pin number 2 and with respect to pin number 3, the operational amplifier is designed for different type of applications. Now let us see how this can be more again done. So here again, it is written as same that positive represents the non-inverting input terminal with 0-degree phase shift. Now this is the block diagram of the operational amplifier. So the basic block diagram of the operational amplifier has some few stages of representation. So first stage is your input stage. Second stage is your intermediate stage. Third is level shifting stage, and the fourth is nothing but your output stage. And this input stage has the input on it can be either non-inverting or it can be inverting, and this is our final output. This is our final output stage. Now if you look at carefully the diagramic representation over here, is once I apply the input signal here with respect to the op-amp like this. Okay, now I have applied an input terminal to the op-amp. So based on the application or based on the connection of the op-amp, just now what we have studied, if it is connected to minus, let it can be connected to plus, it will just process the signal. So this signal will be applied to the block number 1, that is called as an input stage. Now what is the input stage? Is input stage, it's a balanced input and balanced output differential amplifier. What is the input stage consist of? It consists of an amplifier which is a balanced one, or you can simply say dual input balanced output differential amplifier. What do you mean by the term balance? Is nothing but balance when we call is if there are two inputs at the input terminal stages, then it should also have the two output stage pins. Can you see there are two arrow marks here and two arrow marks here? So during such conditions, we call it as the balanced input and balanced output device. So it is a dual input. So two arrows are there. So it is called as a dual input and balanced output. Why it is balanced? Because number of arrows are same both at input and output. So therefore we call it as dual input balanced output differential amplifier. And what this input stage will do is input stage will do a difference in, or try to find the differences for the applied signal and give you the proper results. Then once the results are obtained at this point, it will be applied to the point number 2. It is intermediate stages. It is intermediate stage. The meaning of intermediate stage over here is it gives you again the different type of operation. What is that different types of operation here? It is the same as equal to your difference amplifier. Same. But the input stage number 2 is not balanced. It has dual input, but it is unbalanced output. You can see there is only one arrow mark, and you can see there are two arrow marks. So that is why we call it as dual input unbalanced differential amplifier stage. Again, this is also a different amplifier stage, no doubt. But what is the necessary of having the more number of intermediate stages? I can increase the more number of intermediate stages here to any number. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be any number of differential stage amplifiers. Now, what is the reason for using the more number of differential amplifiers here? For example, if I say that one difference amplifier, let us call it like this, that if one difference amplifier is giving you a gain is nothing but the profit gain of some 10 dB, but I want my device to be designed that at the output of my final output of stage, I should have 50 dB. This is my requirement. I want my output of device that it should give me the 50 dB of gain at the output stage. So what I should do? So if one difference amplifier is giving me the 10 dB of gain, then how many give me the 50 dB? So I require 5 difference amplifier will give me a gain of 50 dB, and all should be connected in series or cascade connection is done between each differential amplifier devices, right? So that is why we go for intermediate stages. It can be one which is give me the gain of 10 dB, just an example. If I want to increase the overall gain of my operational amplifier, let it can be inverting or it can be non-inverting, then I will increase the number of connections inside the intermediate stage such that the gain is achieved whatever we have desired, right? Similarly, now in level shifting stage, you can see such emitter follower. There is one device here that is emitter follower. So the emitter follower stage is used for constant current, what I require for my circuit operation. So level shifting is nothing but your signal level can be shifted either in the upwards or either in the downwards based on the requirement of the device or based on the requirement of the user. So we call it as a level shifting stage. And how level shifting stage or the level of the signal can be shifted either in the upwards and downwards, or either it can be left and right, is by making use of emitter follower circuit. The emitter follower circuit, again, it makes use of the transistors. Okay. Then once the level of the shifting is done, we go for the output stage representation. And what is output stage consist of? Or it is consist of a complementary symmetry push-pull amplifier, and this complementary symmetry push-pull amplifier is again belong to transistors family. Again, it belongs to the transistor family. It has been derived from the transistor family. One type of application can be developed by making use of this complementary symmetry push-pull amplifier, where all the possibility results whatever we get here can be achieved it properly, right? So this is how we try to go for the building of each block of operational amplifier, and where these all blocks are available, the whole blocks 1 to 4 are being available in this triangular shape of your operational amplifier. It is inside. It is inside. So here this you can see the whole blocks from 1 to 5, they completely belong to this inside the IC. So each block will be represented or having its own operation of interest when we try to go for analysis of this operational amplifier. So here is the stage by stage representation. So input stage, it provides most of the gain of the op amp and decides the input resistance. Intermediate stage, it is one type of a differential amplifier which is used to increase the level shifting of the signals and increasing the gain of the signals. Then level shifting stage, it is used to bring the DC level either above the 0 volt or below the 0 volt with respect to the ground. And output stage, basically it is used for increasing the current supply for the op amp and also provide the low input resistance to the circuit diagrams. So in the next video lecture series, we will see about the different modes of operation of op amp. So basically we have a single ended mode and double ended mode, and the third is common mode of op amps. So with this, I will conclude my today's video lecture series on introduction to op amp. Thank you.